Curious, as these teams start to take shape in 2023 and then 2024, like what was your leadership style in conjunction with a player like Caitlin, but also the rest of your teammates?
Yeah, I would say like definitely those first 2 years, we definitely were working together to like, I was definitely more of like the calmer presence and being like, hey, like look me in the eyes, you know, deep breath, like it's all going to be okay. And I think like the leadership style that I really had was just like trust. Like she trusted me because she had seen me like putting in the work in the gym. She knew how much I cared. Like,
what happens when you're besties with the most talked about player in college hoops? Kate Martin knows, and she's not holding back. From Caitlin Clark's insane court antics to the hilarious chaos off the hardwood, Kate dishes on their unforgettable Iowa run. Think slam dunks, inside jokes, and one road squirrel. Curious? You should be. This isn't just basketball, it's behind-the-scenes brilliance with a side of laughs you didn't know you needed. Let's just say, Iowa was never boring.
Your head around 139 games, like that seems like a ton of games, and lucky enough we've had postseasons where we've got a lot of extra games, whether it's been the Big Ten tournament, whether it's been the NCAA tournament. We've been able to have some long seasons, and that's something I'm really thankful for. And to be honest, like I don't think I have the type of career if I don't have a teammate like Kate. She's been one that has had my back. You know, she holds me accountable, I hold her accountable, but I think at the same time, like me and Kate are wired so similarly that like we get each other on a different level. She's so competitive. You know, her dad was a football coach growing up.
That whole era? Legendary full-on folklore status. Kate Martin wasn't just part of it, she was it. The heart, the glue, the sideline hype squad. Floor general. Locker room therapist. Team mom. And somehow, also the team prankster. She didn't just play basketball, she lived it. With a caffeinated intensity that made you want to dive for a loose ball, even from your couch on a random Tuesday night.
This, because you were the first person who I felt like said, yeah, Kate Martin's a pro. Like, draft Kate Martin, she's going to be able to do different things. I think you started saying that you're either sophomore or junior year. And, you know, media members aside, I'm not, you know, maybe it's me, maybe it's not me, not going to throw myself into the bus here. We were like, you know what? I think she could be a fringe WNBA player. She has potential, but, you know, Caitlin's given her endorsement. If there's one thing I've learned about you in covering you for 4 or 5 years or whatever, how long it's been, when you talk ball, you genuinely talk basketball. Like there's no personal relationship attached. So I guess, how do you feel about Kate doing really well and unrivaled so far? And now she's getting a chance at the Valkyrie to really make a statement next year.
And now she's out there living her WNBA dream like a real life sports movie. Except Kate's the director, the star, the cinematographer. Probably made the soundtrack too. Let's not kid ourselves, she wasn't just a leader on that Iowa team. She was the embodiment of team. Sure, Caitlin was hitting logo threes and defying the laws of physics, but Kate? She made sure everyone knew the scout, stayed locked in, and remembered to hydrate.
So Caitlin Clark revealed her squad goals, sort of. This is a play on words, a pun, if you will, just having a little fun with Caitlin Clark's latest interview. She did an appearance with, I believe his name pronunciation is David Eichel of Swarmcast 24/7 Sports. I will link the full piece in the description.
Every time Iowa needed a stop, a spark, or a perfectly timed sarcastic remark, Kate Martin delivered. And Golden State? You mean the literal house of splash where basketball IQ is as valuable as a 40-inch vertical. Could there be a more poetic landing spot for a player built on hustle, brains, and more hustle? She fits right in, slicing through defenses like a hot knife through miscommunication, draining corner threes like they personally offended her, and setting screens like she's getting paid per bruise.
Quick, what did you notice about Caitlin's like work ethic? Was there anything that stood out?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she was in the gym constantly. Yeah. And it was like the way she approached everything too was like, it was like with a sort of excellence. It wasn't like, oh, I'm just going to go through the motions and like whatever. It was like, no, like I'm here to kick your butt in every single drill, every single practice. Like, and especially whenever our like gray squad guys were playing against us, it was like, if you're across from me, you're my enemy, you know? Right. And like, I think that's just kind of how you have to approach things to get better. And she had that, you know, next level mindset, and it really just raised us all up with her.
Yeah, I feel like
the Warriors may have the glitz, but Kate Martin brings that Midwestern grit core-fed tenacity that screams, I boxed out for 14 years before I ever took a shot. And that draft night arc straight up Hallmark movie material. She wasn't even planning to be drafted, just showed up to support Caitlin. Probably thinking she'd be clapping, cheering, maybe sneaking a Sprite. Next thing you know, she's walking up in heels she didn't expect to walk in, shaking Kathy Englebert's hand like, wait, me? It was the most wholesome plot twist in WNBA history. And in Vegas? My God, she thrived. Of course she did. Kate doesn't do background roles. Even as a rookie, she walked into that locker room like she'd been there since Bill Laimbeer invented defense. Whether it was grinding out hard-nosed minutes in real games or dominating the mid-practice drills nobody else wants to run, Kate brought that Big Ten energy. No excuses, no days off, no weak sauce. She won over Becky Hammon in about 4 seconds. Even the vets love her because she does the little things that make big things possible. She knows where to be. She talks like a point guard with a PhD in yelling the right thing at the right time. And she treats turnovers like they're made of lava.
The workout or training video, I've discussed how Caitlin Clark is going to have time to work on her game that she otherwise hasn't had before. She went straight from college to the pros, grueling schedule to start the WNBA season. It's a scary thought for the rest of the league. I've articulated that on many occasions, but she said it herself too, which of course adds fuel to that. And then the other was Unrivaled, and Kate Martin's performance at Unrivaled. Kate Martin has looked great thus far at Unrivaled. Obviously, Kate and Caitlin have a bit of a relationship.
Then came the move to Golden State, and that's when the basketball gods officially said, yeah, she's one of our favorites. Because in a system built on movement, reads, and split-second decisions, Kate Martin is basically a living algorithm. You blink, she's backdoor cutting for a layup. Help off her? She's drilling a three like it's a warm-up rep. Overplay the handoff? She's gone driving past you, dishing it off, high-fiving a kid in the third row, and clapping on defense. All before you even recover. It's almost annoying how much sense it makes. But Kate's not just a player, she's a presence. Every Iowa fan saw it. So did the neutrals. Even the casuals who tuned in just to watch Caitlin drop 40, they noticed. She was in every huddle, calling things out, slapping backs, handing out encouragement like it was Halloween candy. And fans felt that. That's why she's got an Army Now jerseys in the stands even when she's on the bench. Because they know she gets it. She gets what sports are about.
Looking back on it, and then even just talking to you now, it's like, yes, Caitlin is like a big focal point of the team.
Yeah.
She's going to have to do a lot of the scoring, all the things. And it's almost like good cop, bad cop or something.
Yeah.
Now, I don't mean it in like
yeah.
literal terms, but she just had to like be herself, and that was going to win you games. But then you had to come in and kind of be like a calming effect. And that, so I'm actually...
Teamwork, humility, tenacity, and that subtle ability to laugh when the ref calls a charge that definitely wasn't a charge. Kate Martin's story is what happens when preparation meets fate, when hard work meets heart, and then, just for good measure, the universe throws in a little sparkle to make it special. There's something eternally satisfying about watching someone who wasn't supposed to make it not only make it, but thrive. Kate's success feels personal. It's like watching your best friend get a promotion and then casually become the CO. She was that teammate who picked everyone up, who passed up open shots so someone else could find confidence, who dove for loose balls even in 30-point blowouts, and always looked like she was having the time of her life. That Iowa squad, built on synergy. But Kate was the nerve center, the unsung hero turned sung hero. Even now, years later, we're still walking around saying, remember that one time Kate, like it was just last week. Because when you love the game like she does, you never really leave the team. You carry it. You become a. That's why Iowa fans still ride for her like she's in the Big Ten tournament. That's why Caitlin still lights up when she talks about her. Because Kate Martin wasn't just part of the story,
Y'all, I think teammate relationships are like some of the most special and unique relationships you can have. This is Caitlin Clark, this is Kate Martin. They both played at Iowa, and tonight they'll play for the first time in the WNBA. And this is the moment that they see each other for the first time on the court. Like I said, the teammate relationship is already so special, but you can just imagine in Caitlin Clark's position, where she's already admitted it's quite isolating being this popular at this point, so much so that she doesn't really go out very much. Not to mention there's been so much criticism online, not by the players, but simply the territory that comes with being a popular woman in the women's.
That's why every former teammate probably has a Kate Martin saved me from spiraling before practice story where a Kate said something hilarious during warm-ups and broke the tension right before we beat Indiana by 22 moment. It's rare, that kind of vibe, that kind of chemistry, that quiet magnetism. She's the kind of person who's so genuinely likable that even opposing fans are like, ugh, she's ruining my trash talk. Even the mascots probably love her. She probably fist bumped the Lynx mascot once and now they're pen pals. She's that cool main character energy, but in the least egotistical way possible. She knows she's good, but she'd rather you have the spotlight. She'll just be over here out rebounding someone 5 inches taller and dishing out assists like a vending machine. And not for nothing we need more stories like hers in sports. Stories of players who weren't supposed to go pro, but worked too hard to be ignored. Arcs built on showing up, putting in the work, and being so ready when their numbers called. They're practically overqualified. Kate Martin didn't need flashy mixtapes, nil deals, or 12-second viral clips. Though let's be honest, she probably has a few. She just needed a chance. And now that she's got it, she's making every minute matter.